to start this off talking about parasites and how parasites is hijacking your glandular highway, how parasites is hijacking your digestive system, how parasites and parasitic infections is hijacking your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, and they're changing your mood, they're changing your emotions, they're changing your appetite, things that you think that you can't achieve in your life and you wondering what's holding you back. It's literally is these forms and these beings inside of your body called parasites, believe it or not. And we're going to prove today with science, we're going to prove today, just going through a lot of different data, that parasites are real. Parasites exist. There is not one disease that exists inside of the body that's not connected to a parasite nor a protein. And these parasites secrete certain secretions and hormones through their defecation in their urine that actually attacks and hijack your neural link. It actually attacks and hijack your neurons and the capability of your melanin neurotransmitters communicating with themselves, for they can manifest themselves in your body and basically have you doing the will for them. What we must realize is when you get into parasites and you get into parasitics, these worm-like or these insect or bug-like structures, they don't have a body like you do. They still terrestrial in form, but they don't have two legs. They can't walk upright. They can't engage sexually like you. Just everything about them is very, very compact and constructed. With you are more freely divine in nature. So what they do is they use your body and they use your endocrine system and your exocrine system. They use your nervous system to implement they will. And we're going to show this scientifically, y'all. I mean, it'll blow your mind. So whenever you think about chicken pox, whenever you think about herpes, whenever you think about multiple sclerosis, MS, arthritis, itchy elbow disease, papillomavirus, HPV, cervical cancer, any cancer, HIV, full-blown AIDS, diabetes, all of these are not only from what you eating, and it's not only a stress-related disease, but it's a bed of parasites that follow behind all of these things, and we can prove it today. You cannot show me one disease and one viral load that doesn't have a glycoprotein antibody and a parasite connected to it. If we're talking about HSV, we're talking about the hemith worm. HSV, which we talking about herpes simplex virus. You have the hemith worm, you have a glycoprotein antibody. We talking about HIV. We talking about the hemith worm, which his name is Fascioloscus boyski. Guess what? We have that. Then we have a CD4 cell antibody connected to it. When you talk about diabetes, you're talking about a fluke worm that's driven himself deep within the pancreas, that's driven himself deep within the islands of Langerhans of the pancreas. And guess what you have? You have a glycophosphate backbone or protein connected to it. Any disease that you can name, any part of the anatomy of the body have been compromised and mucus is coming in and obstructing the place, or there's toxemia and cellular acidosis waste built up in there. Guess what that's the bread for? It's going to breed all types of parasites. And what you're going to realize when we going through these things, and I'm showing y'all the models, you're going to realize these parasites come from within the body. Just like fruit flies and nets come from within the fruit. Just like you see roadkill, and then when you see roadkill, you go back 4 days later and you see all these maggots that's manifesting from within side of the flesh of the roadkill. These same things happen inside of your body when you eat dead things, or when the cells start to die inside of the body and the lysosome don't do their job, and the macrophages and the T cells and the B cells and the lymphocytes and the basophils and the neutrophils are not doing their job and completely disintegrating these dead cells and getting them out of the body through the lymphatic system. So whenever you have dead things or you eating dead things, notice life come from these dead things. Notice that. I mean, all you have to do is do this experiment yourself. Find something dead, put it in a box and seal the box. Come back a month later, open up that box. You're going to see it full of maggots. You're going to see it full of all types of things. Find you some rice. Get you some rice and seal that rice and wet it and leave it sitting out. You're going to see that rice turn into maggots. You're going to see it turn into a cornmeal maggot that turns into a moth. You can't get no food. You can't get anything that dies or anything that's moisturized that become acidic. life is going to come from it. So everybody be like, well, where did the fruit flies come from? Where's all these damn nets coming from? It's coming from the fruit. It's not coming out of the window. It ain't knocking on the door and then, coming in the house from the door. It ain't coming through the drain of your sink. It is coming from the actual fruit. Same thing as gnarly parasites that kill the body, that hijack your cellular structure. This is coming from the meat that you eating, whether it is finely cooked, whether it's medium rare cooked, or whether you eat it raw. It's still coming from within the dead substance that you're putting in your living body. So let's talk about it. If y'all ready to get this started, y'all ready to go in, I got some pictures for y'all. We detox and we deworm people all the time, especially with people with HSV and viral loads, full-blown AIDS and HIV. Whenever we healing them, we always have to get rid of these parasites, because these parasites are associated with every disease. Whenever you study biology and you take a cancerous cell through a biopsy and you actually put it on the petri dish and you study how it moves through Kemet, which means black stree, the study of Kemet stree means to study the black man or to study the black cell, you will notice inside of each individual cell, you will find something moving around inside these cancerous cells and eating away at the anatomy of the cells, eating the iron phosphate out of the cells, eating the glucose factors out of the cells, eating the fructose factors out of the cells, eating the carbon dioxide out of the cell, eating the light cold frequency that we're going to call carbon oxygen 2 constituents, or what you call CO2, up out of the cell. Every disease you're talking about, guess what? You have an evil entity that has manifested in a parasite that is inside of your body. A lot of people walking around with big guts and think that's food. No, you have a cesspool full of dead worms, fluke worms, hook worms, canker worms, tapeworms, hammerhead worms, Fasciolopsis bullski, hemith worm, toxoplasma, all types of Trinidad, which causes chlamydia and gonorrhea. All these different things I'm talking about is the secretions that's coming from these different parasites that's jacking the body. You see that? Candida is a parasite. Fungus is a parasite. A parasite needs something. It needs a host to feed off of, to feed off energy, or to feed off your blood, or to feed off your intellectual capacity, or to feed off your nervous system. That way they can express their will inside of their body, because they want to do nasty, gnarly shit. They want to do evil, vindictive things. These things are evil in nature. They come from low thought form frequencies. They can't do it unless they have a body to do it in. So when you create a medium and you open up yourself for different low vibrational thoughts and low vibrational frequencies, and you open yourself up to lust, and you having sex with everybody, and you sleeping at everybody's houses, you touching on everybody, you shaking everybody's hand, you hugging everybody, you open yourself up from these entities to find a way inside of your body. They go into the duodenum, which is in the gut. Once you break or you compromise their mucosa membrane, which is the defense system of the body, it keeps the hollow tube from your mouth to your anus completely sealed. Once you break that and that become compromised and the molecular structure break, this is the gateway and entry into your body to hijack your nervous system, y'all. And this is what's going on. Notice what herpes is. Herpes is a nervous system attack. Your nervous system is being attacked by the hemith worm and by a very deadly protein that was supposed to die off in the cell by lysosome, but lysosome didn't do its job correctly, so now it's systemically blowing back on the nervous system. That's why you have to get oregano oil and rub it up and down the spinal cord, because guess what? That's where every parasite, I don't give a damn if it come through your foot, come through your nail, come through an open wound, or come through the duodenum by way of a compromised mucous membrane. Guess where it's trying to go? It's trying to burrow itself inside of your nervous system to hijack you, to do the thinking for you, to eat what it want to eat, to mate with what it want to mate with. And you wonder why you have lust, uncontrollable lust, and you want to sleep with everybody. These are the parasitics thinking for you. These are the parasitics thinking for you. You think I'm lying? Look, let me show you something, because I know y'all don't look. And I've been saying this. I made a bold statement like a year or two ago. I said that if you test the brains of every homosexual male, of every African-American homosexual male, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find an actual fluke worm inside their brain called toxoplasma. I said that, people laughed at me. People laughed at me. So you telling me that there's a parasite that invades the neural link of the brain that changes your sexual preference and your sexual behavior? Nigga, you lying. And now we got the database to prove it. And I've been saying this for the last 2 years. Because it's common. Because every time somebody come to us that is a homosexual with HIV or with HSV, when we cleanse them, we notice that certain type of gnarly chemistry and certain type of gnarly parasites came from their upper extremities. I'm like, hold on. This is not a coincidence that every time we detox a homosexual, a certain type of parasite come from them, and this parasite look the exact same. I kept telling y'all that. Now we got actual evidence and back it up, and we have the name for it, which is toxoplasma. And it changes the sexual behavior in cats and dogs as well. And you wonder why dogs are humping dogs and cats are humping cats. And you check for the parasite. That same parasite that's in the humans and changing their sexual behavior and preference is changing the cats and the dogs as well. But see, y'all act like Yah'ki don't know what he talking about. Yah'ki don't know what he's talking about. Shingles is a part of herpes, y'all. Now check this out. Let me just read a few things to y'all before we get this lesson started. I want to show y'all these things, and we're going to talk about how these things are hijacking your bodies and literally living through y'all. Look, the devil is real, y'all. See, the thing y'all are getting misconstrued with, y'all think when we say devil, we talking about a red little helper with a spade's tail, with claws and cloven foot running around in hell somewhere. No, we ain't talking about that. When you get really deep into ancient scriptures and you see what these devils are, what these deceivers are, something that leech and vampirism, they suck the energy and the life up out of you. And while they're doing it, they're manifesting all type of dis-ease to your biology. That's a parasite. That's why if you look up the root word to herpes in Latin, it's called the creeper or the creepy crawler. It's in the word. Herpes means the creepy crawler. You think I'm lying? Just Google it. Google the actual origin and etymology of the word herpes. It means the creepy crawler. Do the same thing with cancer. It's always associated with a extraterrestrial entity that is hijacking your body and living off your energy, living off your food, living off your blood, living off your lipid lymphatic based cholesterol system, living off your nervous system. It's something that is connecting to you and living off of you, for it can actually implement its down greedy, narcissistic, low thought form will within your body, because it needs a body to manifest what it's thinking. And that's why if they don't have a host, they die off eventually, because they need a host to survive to implement their will. Straight up. Sounds like the white man to me. Still I rise, da'at. Hey, you sure right, boy. It do sound like a lot of them, don't it? All right, so let's get to it. Let me show y'all something. Check this out, family. Check this out. Let me blow this up for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go through a few things and we're going to show some pictures, and then we're going to get straight to the questions. And there's a reason why I open it up, and I open up Yah'ki TV tonight with this particular topic, because everything that these people are going through with these questions, or it's all parasitical based. It's something leeching off of them. It's something sucking the energy and the life force from them. And if they change their diet and change the way that they review, the way that they observe and their perspective of reality, then they can get these entities up out of their body. You have to understand that the body is made of 150 trillion cells. Out of 150 trillion cells, 100 trillion of them cells don't even belong to you. They belong to something called the microbiome. The microbiome is single cell prokaryotic cell organisms that make who you are. Single cell prokaryotic cell organism that's not even from Earth. They come from stars that make up who you are. And then the other 50 trillion of them cells belong to the dust of the ground, or something we call Afu, Africa, which is Afar in Hebrew, which means minerals. So 50 trillion cells is the minerals of the dust particles that make up the body, that make up this physiology. Then 100 trillion of those are made up of microbiome or prokaryotic cells that have their own thinking system, that have their own colonies, that have their own so-called immunity. You see that? They own lymphatic system, they own blood. They help you break down your food. They help you ferment your food. They help you turn all of your fermentation to alcohol for all the nutrients can penetrate your cells. They regulate your blood pressure. It regulates your heartbeat. I mean, these things do everything, and it keeps your body into a state of homeostasis. It keeps your body into a balance of ma'at. It keeps your body straight balanced and alkaline. You know, if they really told you this, it will freak you out, because then you're gonna have to ask yourself, okay, who am I? If my thoughts are coming from my microbiome, which is 100 trillion of miniature microorganisms that I don't know where their true origin from. They controlling my thoughts. They break down my food. I couldn't even have a digestive movement without these microbiomes. Most people that got IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, it's because they lack these microbiomes. You see that? And then notice what they're doing to you inside the hospitals. They're giving you antibiotics for everything, killing the very bacteria that I'm talking about now. Do y'all think this is a coincidence? Huh? Who are you? Are you controlled by aliens or Elion? Elion, which means the Most High? And these little entities actually move and work together as a unit to drive this vehicle that we call the human body? Who are you? Is you the body or is you the bacteria? I mean, which one? Who are you? This stuff get real sci-fi, y'all. It gets real freaky. It gets real sci-fi and it gets real freaky. Straight up. The boogeyman exists and it's inside of your body and is manifesting all types of viruses, viral loads, and diseases. Now check this out, y'all. Let's read this real quick. This is straight from Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can hear it from their mouths because everybody think Yah'ki just be making up stuff. Check this out. Parasites can also indirectly affect the behavior of their hosts by disturbing their metabolism, development, or immunity. Parasitic castrators drastically modify their hosts' metabolism and reproduction, sometimes by secreting castrating hormones. So parasites actually have their own hormones. Now, if a parasite have its own hormone, that means that these microbiomes and these parasites must have their own endocrine system and exocrine system, meaning that they're producing and secreting things. So they have organelles of their own. These are living damn entities, y'all, that are in your life, in your body, biohacking your personality. And then you wonder why people have split personalities. You wonder why people 50-150. One minute she good and he good, the next minute they angry, they foaming at their mouth, they ready to fight, or they having sexual splurges all the time. They can't keep their penis in their pants. Your nature, you and your nature is, you're holistic in nature. You are happy in nature. You are balanced in your nature base because you are God. See, you are positive. You are righteous in your key nature. But it's things that make up this body called the microbiome that can change your thoughts and manifest all type of evilness within you. So when you watch certain cartoons and you see that good angel or angle of light and that bad angel or angle of light, or what we call low thought form frequencies, you know, that is true. When they battling between the good angel and the bad angel, you literally battling between the microbiome, the ancestors, and the microbiome that developed and turned into parasites called Satan. You see what I'm saying? And they are influencing your thoughts, and then you sitting in the holies of holies or sitting on the mercy seat, you know, the throne of God, or what we're going to call the hippocampus or the hypothalamus gland. You have to make a choice of what's going to influence you. You're going to have to make a choice to actually roll and entertain them bad thoughts, or to do proper breath work and breathe out them negative thoughts forms and exhale them out, and then choose that right frequency. Because whether you want to realize this or not, your body is full of entities, good and bad, and we can prove this scientifically. Now check this out. Check this out. It says parasites can also indirectly affect the behavior of their hosts by disturbing their metabolism, development, or immunity. Parasitic castrators drastically modify their hosts' metabolism and reproduction, sometimes by secreting castrating hormones, changing their behavior and physiology to benefit the parasite. Now this is behavior altering parasite by Wikipedia. Yah'ki ain't make that up. Hold on, let me show you something else that I didn't make up. Let's blow this up as well. You see that? Check this out. Although often asymptomatic parasitic infections can lead to disruption in mood, behavior, and sleep, particularly in children with worms. And these worms are called tapeworms or fluke worms, Fasciolopsis buski, the same hemith worm that causes HSV, the same hemith worm that they was making and putting in your vaccinations. They putting their zogites or they eggs and worms in your zoster vaccination and your hepatitis hepatitis B vaccination, giving all of our people herpes, giving all of our people shingles, giving all of our people syphilis in the Satigi experiment. Guess what they was putting inside of us? They were putting not only mercury and poison and aluminum and all of these other things inside of these vaccinations, but they were putting the embryos and zogytes of baby parasitics inside of these things too. And then now, you know, they say it's supposed to build immunity when there's no such thing as a damn immune system. It's called the lymphatic defense system. And then 10 years later, we got chicken pox. 6 years later, we got chicken pox. 20, 30 years later, we got shingles. All of a sudden, we got syphilis running around here. Then they change and break up the word syphilis and broke in 1978 and broke it down into 4 different diseases. And the first disease or the symptomology to syphilis is now your modern day HSV1 and HSV2. Psoriasis, eczema, all of this is parasites. Your body is infested with parasitics due to the inoculations and the vaccines that they gave you when you was a baby. This is proof. I got books on this stuff, y'all. It's too much evidence here that I'm talking about. So people can say that I'm all with it's all controversy and the conspiracies. No, I got unclassified documents of the government admitting to this bullshit that they've been doing to us since we've been over here. And these are just facts, y'all. These are just facts. Now, before we start showing pictures and getting into this lesson, I gotta read this, y'all. I have to read this. Now, check this out. It says neuroparasitology is an emerging branch of science that deals with parasites that can control the nervous system. Well, guess what parasite controls the nervous system? The hemorrhoid worm. And guess what nervous system it controls? The parasympathetic and the sympathetic autonomic nervous system. Guess what so-called disease that causes, or so-called viral load that causes? Herpes, HSV1, HSV2, HSV3, all the way to 18. There's over 106 different variances of this viral load, so-called viral load or protein that we call herpes. And out of 106, 18 of them are prone to human beings. Itchy elbow disease, psoriasis, eczema, chickenpox, shingles, and so on and so forth. You see that? So on and so forth. It's all a form of herpes, which really is nothing but syphilis, which is nothing but HIV. It's all the same thing. And that's the reason why they say if you get herpes, you are more susceptible to catching HIV, which you can't catch no damn virus. The virus come within the microbiome of the cells due to a falling phosphate called lysosome. I can prove all of this, y'all. It is lies. The germ theory is a damn lie. The bacteria theory is a damn lie. All of this viral theory is a damn lie. So you have to sit back and ask yourself if all these things are theory and it ain't never been proven, and I ain't never seen HIV move around through a viral load on a petri dish in a cell, and I ain't never seen COVID-19 or the coronavirus do that either, then what are we talking about here? Or we being bamboozled? Or we being faked out? Is the pump fake really real? Is they lying to us? Yes, they are. And now you got to ask yourself why are they lying to you? Why are they lying to you? Because everything you think you know about health and disease, you don't know damn squat. You don't know. Everything you tell me is based off of symptomology that you got from Google, or what you done heard from your doctor, or what your great grandmother heard from their doctor. Ain't nobody been in the field really doing this work themselves to show and prove, which I have, and my team have, show and prove that all of this is straight up, excuse my language, bullshit. It's bullshit. Straight up. So you walking around wearing that mask, breathing in all that carbon dioxide, causing all types of respiratory infections, killing your adrenal glands and shutting down your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, causing a mucus response to your bronchial tubes, wearing that mask all day, every day for no damn reason at all. You've been psyched. You've been pump faked. You've been lied to. And that mask is going to cause you all of your death and diseases 10 years from now, because you're compromising the breath. Breath is the most important thing that you can have, because breath is the ruach. That's the neshama. That is the Holy Ghost. That is the spirit. That is the kai. That's the cho, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. You have to breathe that in. And you going around breathing in all of your metabolic, already broken down oxygen. And you telling me that that's going to keep you from getting a so-called disease that really don't exist, that is called by 5G radiation? Okay, whatever. But hey, Yah'ki don't know nothing. You know that COVID is real. It took me down. No, radiation poison took you down, mixed with the flu that you catch every year. That's what took you down. Since they've been propaganding and putting a witchcraft programming and sorcery on you, broadcasting sorcery. Now all of a sudden, soon as you catch a whiffle of a sniff and a fever, you automatically got COVID. And you believe these people. You see that, boy? Hey, mass media, what they are doing is straight up witchcraft and sorcery, but Hebrews want to call me a witch. Yeah, I CNN, that's witchcraft. ABC News, that's witchcraft. Fox 2, that's witchcraft. But whatever though. Now let's read this. It says neuroparasitology is an emergent branch of science that deals with parasites that can control the nervous system of the host. It offers the possibility of discovering how species, quotation, the parasite modifies a particular neural network. They straight colonizing and hijacking your neural network. And thus particular behaviors of another species. It says the host. Such parasites host interactions develop over millions of years of evolution, provide unique tools by which one can determine how neuromodulation up or down regulates specific behavior. And it says in some of the most fascinating manipulations, the parasite taps into the host brain. The host brain, y'all hear that? Neuronal circuitries to manipulate host cognitive functions. Parasites hijack the body. They get inside the body. Some of them come from dogs and pets, and you walking with your shoes off on concrete, not on grass, or you walking on your dog feces and poop and stuff like that. You can get them that way. But most of them come from within inside of the cell already. Most of them, let me say that again. Most of them come from within inside of the cell already, because you are a living biological entity. This vehicle is real, it's living, it's breathing, it's in motion, it's real dense. So you think it's physical and you think that you are a part of this, but you are aware is driving this vehicle. You are the driver. You are not your avatar. You are not the vehicle, but this vehicle is susceptible to all types of entities, because entities is what made this vehicle. Elohim is what made the vehicle. And this means powers. Well, you can actually go deep into the body and see that the vehicle was straight constructed by something called the microbiome. Who are these entities? Hundreds of trillions of them that make up your body. Ooh-wee. Who are these things? And then when they die off, or when you start eating things and you change the ecosystem of your body, because you are part of a greater ecosystem called Earth ecosystem, or what we're going to call the electrical magnetic grid. And when you change your resonance and you change your frequency by eating dead food, or by entertaining dead relationships, or talking to dead people, or giving entertainment to dead conversations, you lower your frequency in the hertz of your body, and you allow the biology of your cell to change due to the lysosome. And these things is what manifests these parasites and these different personalities to hijack your neural network. See that? Like I said, if you think I'm lying, do this experiment yourself. The next time something dies, don't kill it, because you're not supposed to be killing anything. Parasites and these different personalities to hijack your neural network. See that? Like I said, if you think I'm lying, do this experiment yourself. The next time something dies, don't kill it, because you're not supposed to be killing anything living but these damn things I'm talking about now. Put it inside of a pine box and you nail it closed. Don't let that way you know that nothing crawl inside of this thing. And you leave that thing alone for a few months, and you come back and you pry all of that stuff off, and you look inside that pine box. That bird is going to be full of maggots. Where the maggots come from? That dead cat is going to be full of maggots. Where did the maggots and the parasites came from? It came from inside of the biological structure of the cat, of the bird, of the human. Have y'all noticed when you take your grandma or your grandfather to the old folks home, and they're in these nursery homes, and they get bed sores. The first thing that the bed sores start developing is maggots. Where is the maggots coming from? Did the nurse bring them to the damn bed and put it under their ass? No, they didn't. These things came from within inside of the flesh, because the flesh started rotting and dying because the cells stopped lacking the oxygen that needs to actually make the cells be living. When the cells lack oxygen due to the mucosal response, these things form acids. This acidic waste actually breeds parasites. Same thing with a dead body, y'all. It's in fruit flies and in nets. This shit is not coming from outside. It is coming from within inside of the fruit. It's coming from within inside of the things that you're eating. That's why you can never get rid of them. Notice once you get rid of the fruit, they leave. That's because they came from the fruit the whole time. That's why they call it fruit flies, nets. Everything has something living in it because everything was made and created by living things. Whether y'all want to believe it or not. Yep, digestive tract microbes. The microbiome is what breaks down your food. You need these things. These things make up who you are. But when you change your role and you start changing the consistency in how Yahweh created you to be and how Yahweh created a diet program for you, the moment you go against nature, it's hell to pay. For every action is an equal and opposite reaction. You was created with an instruction manual called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. If you do not follow that DNA blueprint that Yahweh inscribed inside of these nucleotides, then you go against nature. The moment you go against nature, you have to pay for it. You're in debt to nature because you're going against the very DNA that Yahweh created you with. What's up, love? I'm going too fast. My bad. I'm amped. Can I get it? Give me a towel. My bad, y'all, if I'm going too fast. My bad, y'all. My bad. Y'all hate those fruit flies too, man. Straight up. Ooh-wee. Y'all got me amped tonight, boy. If y'all getting everything I'm saying so far, type in some nines. If y'all getting everything I'm saying so far, type in some nines. Put some Ninas, some Navis, some Noonies up in this deal. That's where afternoon come from. Noon come from Navim or Nabium, which means 90, 9, the ninth hour. And 9 is the factor of life. It takes a woman 9 months to have a baby. All seasons go through a 90-day cycle. Life and birth is in nines. Nines is a great manifestation. 7 represents completion. 8 represents infinity. 8 represents infinity. Yeah, it is on purpose. When I'm ready to show them everything, I'm gonna move the camera. All right, cool. So let me show y'all these gnarly things. Check out this one. Y'all see that? This is what's living inside of y'all. When you eating dairy products, when you're eating meat, when you eating flesh, when you going against the biological disposition that Yahweh puts you in, when you're going against your cosmic arrangement, these things starts to manifest within your body. You see that? That's what happens. These things are living in you and you have to kill these things. Yes, fungus is a parasite, D Young. Not only fungus, candida is a parasite. Yeast is a parasite, but you have good parasitics and you have bad parasitics. And that's what we're going to break down today. You have good parasitics and you have bad parasitics. And these parasites are living entities that have manifested themselves from the nano, or what you would call the quantum world. And they physically appear in a form, or what you call manifest. Even certain thoughts can kill cells to make them turn into parasites, because all parasitics, or most parasitics, come from some type of a cellular structure. You cannot find me one parasite that doesn't come from a cellular structure, whether it come from your cells or come from the dog or the cat cells or come from a cell of a botanical, or what we call a herb or a vegetable or a fruit. It still came from a cell. And most of these parasites that manifest in your body come from your own cellular structure that's inside of your body that makes up your bodies. We have to remember that cells make up organs, organs make up systems, and systems make a full-grown human being. You see what I'm saying? So most of these parasites are derived or develop from your cells by way of your thoughts and by way of things that you're eating. We have to realize that food is not just something that's dense, that's solidified, that you can put inside of your belly and you can chew with your teeth. Music is a form of food. Thought is a form of food. Water is a form of food. You see that? Rhythm is a form of food. Conversation is a form of food. Pictures is a form of food. Symbolism is a form of food. Writing is a form of food. Learning is a form of food. That's why it's called food for thought. Food for thought, because just because it's less denser than the dense thing, we became such a dense people. We think that it have to be solid to be solidified for us to call it real. Everything is in a dense form. Even water is in a dense form. Air is in a dense form. All these things exist. Just because you're not vibrating at the frequency to be in tune with that frequency to make it solidify in front of your face for you to see it doesn't mean that it's not there. You have something called quantum computers that can actually read and see demons and different imageries of spirits in the room. Look it up. It's called quantum computer. Or you have something called the hydro collider. Have y'all heard of that? Where they're bashing atoms and particles and at the speed of light and creating wormholes and all types of shit going on. Y'all, look, you just stuck on Facebook, you stuck on social media, you stuck playing a game, you stuck in a bad relationship, arguing all damn day, so you don't have time to truly sit down and open up that DNA and pull out all of this history and this information from the Akashic records to see what's truly going on here. What you think it is, it ain't. Straight up. Picture your darkest nightmare times that by a trillion, and that's actually what's really going on inside of this earthly realm, or what we're going to call this holographic universe, or what we call Earth. That's what's really going on. Picture your horrific worst nightmare that you can even think of, that you can imagine, and times that shit by a trillion. That's where you get today, modern day 2021 agenda, 2021 reality. That's messed up. You got to keep your body cleansed. You have to keep your chakras in line. You have to keep them 7 churches open. You have to keep your mind in purity. You have to keep your mind in a righteous set, and you have to do right to others that you want them to do to you to get to what we going through, because Earth is finna purge herself, and all the weak link is gonna die, and all these evil bastards are, and whether you're white, black, blue, purple, or brown, if you evil, you got an evil mindset, and you going against nature gonna tax that ass. Flat out. And I'm just keeping it a trillion. I'm keeping 100 grand with y'all. You gonna get taxed. You can't escape karma. Whatever a man soweth, he shall reap. You can't escape that. Y'all gotta watch how y'all treating yourselves, and watch how y'all treating other people, and watch how you treating these animals, because that's Yahweh creatures as well. And you going around just feasting off of they violently dead bodies, thinking that you going somewhere. No, you not. You're eating the dead, murderous flesh of Yahweh, of the universal creator who created these things. And you actually think that you're on a healthy diet, and you think that, you know, when you leave, you're going into elevation in different bodies, but you're going against the ecological system that helped create all things. Y'all have to start making these things make sense, because it don't make sense. Just saying. But hey, you know, Yah'ki knows nothing. I know no thing. But check this out. Parasite full of blood. Notice what this is: a translucent parasite. The reason why it's red, because it's been drinking on damn blood all day. This translucent. This ain't even supposed to look like this. You know, this is supposed to actually look like this, y'all. This is what this parasite really look like. I pulled this out of a sister. RP to the sister. She dead now. You know, chemotherapy, the allopathic community killed her. They murdered that sister. RP Raina, I love you and miss you. And we healed her of cancer. We got the tumors and everything out of her body. But the chemotherapy did so much damage to her body that she bled out through the chemotherapy. But we pulled so many tumors and things out of her. And this is one thing we pulled out of her. And that is a translucent parasite. Now check this out. When it's hosting on the cells and it is drinking your blood, because they're vampires, this is what they look like. They're see-through, but they're so see-through when they fill themselves up the same way as a mosquito, which is another parasite. When they fill themselves up, this is what they look like. Y'all see that? And you have trillions of these things in you, and every parasite I'm finna show you lay at least 4,000 eggs every single day. Especially when we talking about HSV, herpes, and the hemith worm. That little gnarly evil bastard, he lay 4,000 eggs every single day. Every single day. Got my cherry juice. I know y'all made me some cherry juice. She pitted the seeds out of them, and then she juiced them for me. Cherry juice fire. All right, check this out, y'all. Let's keep it going. Let me show y'all some other gnarly chemistry. We pulled this up out of a lady, a 55-year-old. And look at this one. Look at that. That's a tapeworm. That's a tapeworm with a tumor attached to it. That's a tapeworm with a tumor attached to it, showing you that most of these tumors are actually living entities, and they grow face expressions. They grow teeth. they grow eyes, they grow hair. These things are living inside of you, biohacking your body, biohacking your spirit, living off of your endocrine system, living off of your chakras, them gates, them 7 gates. If you open them up with the wrong intentions, you're going to let these type of damn things in. Look at them. Look at them. Look at these things. Let me show y'all. Look, this is a actual duodenum. This is a duodenum that is full of parasites. And the duodenum is right here, family. This is the duodenum. This is the transverse colon. Let me pull out the liver real quick. Let me show you the duodenum, because this is where they want to get in at. Let me take the lungs off. This is how they want to invade your body. They come through, but the only way they can make it through the mucosa membrane, unless you have broken your molecular structure, through trauma, breaking the skin, being stabbed, stepping on rocks, they can get in through that way by way of the blood. But if you haven't broken your molecular structure, the only way they can get in is through this little intestinal tract right here called the duodenum. Y'all see it? Where my pen at? It's right here, and it's called the duodenum. Matter of fact, let me just take it off real fast, and I'm gonna show y'all the back of it. And this thing is 9 inches if you're a full-grown adult. And this 9-inch tract right here, y'all see it? This 9-inch tract right here, it's called the duodenum. Notice it's connected right to the pancreas. The inside of this tract is right here, the duodenum. And inside of here is where most of your microbiome at, most of your nervous system, called your intrinsic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. It all is connected inside the gut. The gut is the first brain. The heart is the second brain. The central nervous system is the third brain. You see that? Father, Spirit, Son. Father, Spirit, Son. Y'all see how that go? Father, masculine, spirit, feminine. Feminine and masculine come together in unison, which is left and right hemisphere of the brain. They have a sexual exchange called exchange of information, or entering the course, sexual intercourse, and then you birth and manifest a baby, son. Y'all see how they go? Now check this out. This 9-inch intestinal tract is actually 99% of your absorption. You do have absorption that happen in the transverse colon, but most of your absorption factor happens inside the duodenum. And the reason why is because you have the pancreas. This is the pancreas right here. These are the islands of Langerhans right here. And you have alpha cells, you have beta cells and delta cells, and over 4,000 different type of enzymic reactions